Hello? Hello, this is The.Spectre. I don't have my good friend Danavis here. So don't pay attention to the overlay, it's just me casting at the moment. I don't know, he's at work or some other super lame excuse. Of course, I'm home early because my boss is awesome.
Reserve time.
And we have our first DotA is hard casted match for the night.
Radiant team.
I've missed the first little bit of the draft, but not too much going on. We do see the standard Batrider Nyx Magnus ban out, and obviously the Radiant side not wanting to play against the Gyrocopter, banning him out in the first stages, so maybe wanting to pick up a Phantom Lancer. Of course, the Dire have picked up Shadow Demon, so maybe not to
10 seconds
go
remaining.
into Phantom Lancer. Just give me a moment.
5
Damn
seconds
fiance.
remaining.
Anyway, yes, so maybe
Reserve
not
time.
the best idea to pick a Phantom Lancer into a Shadow Demon, because that disruption, even if it's used on the Phantom Lancer illusion, will generate
Dire
illusions
team pick.
of their own that the team can control. The Keeper of the Light and Rubik picked up, so we don't see combo heroes picked up. Usually you'll see something in that 2-pick phase, such as a Wisp CK or a Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer, just for some 2 really strong mid-game or late-game combo heroes. Although Keeper of the Light and Rubik, 2 very strong supports at the moment.
10 seconds
At the moment,
remaining.
not too many great skills for Rubik to steal, and you might see the Dire's picks
5
change
seconds remaining.
because of that Rubik pickup. With the
Reserve
Lone
time.
Druid, they did pick a Life Stealer into the Lone Druid. Usually, the odd thing about this hero matchup is they counter each other. Lone Druid can lock down the Life Stealer when he's in his Rage form using the Bear's Entangle, but that being said, a Life Stealer in a 1 vs 1 matchup in the laning phase will usually beat out a Lone Druid, because he can just wail on the Bear and regen all of his health basically. So the Lone Druid has to get very, very lucky with Entangle procs and also have his Bear at much higher health than the Life Stealer is, rather. And we see the Lina pick up to combo with the Shadow Demon. We've got a very strong tri-lane here. Usually you'll see an open wounds to get the Shadow Demon into. Not too much going on. We do see standard stream. There we go. So we've got the Lina pickup for the Shadow Demon combo into the tri-lane. Sorry, I've confused myself now. The disruption going into Light Strike Array with the Soul Catcher damage on top. Very, very potent killing tri-lane with the Life Stealer as a farmer usually. You can either use the open wounds to slow the enemy down to get them in range for a disruption, or even use it as a setup for a Light Strike Array if Shadow Demon isn't nearby. Or you can just use it if Shadow Demon's in range already to slow them down on their retreat. We do see the Tinker ban out and the Puck ban out, so 2 high mobility heroes. Tinker, of course, more of a split pusher, and Puck just a general high nuisance in those team fights. Also, not wanting the Shadow Demon and Lina combo to be burst down with the Orb Silence and Reality Rift combo of the Puck. Tinker being very strong against heroes like Keeper of the Light, who try and kind of counter push
10
the lanes.
seconds
Usually they do this solo while the other team pushes a different lane.
5
Of course, the Keeper being
seconds
able to
remaining.
recall someone back if the defense gets a bit hairy. But with a boot to travel, blink forward, laser rocket
Reserve
combo,
time.
Keeper of the Light doesn't have a very high HP pool, so he can go down quite quickly. We can see the banning stage continuing, and really interesting to see what they ban out, and they ban out
Dire
the
team
Prophet.
ban.
So there are going to be no global Life Stealer bombs, which is
Radiant
possibly
team
why they
ban.
also banned out the Tinker. We see the Templar Assassin and the Queen
Dire
of
team
Pain
ban.
knocked out because these 2 sides are missing a mid lane hero. You can play Rubik mid and even Keeper of the Light mid,
Radiant
but
team
it's
pick.
not very often seen in the way of Keeper of the Light. Rubik's alright, but I think he fits in a lot better with the tri-lane setup with that lift and fade bolt. We also see the Phantom Lancer finally banned out, so they won't be able to pick up that Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer combo. I thought it may slip through the banning phase, but looks like they really don't want to go against that, even with the Shadow Demon on their side.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see who they pick up. The Lone Druid can be played as a
5
safe
seconds
lane
remaining.
farmer, but he's usually seen as a solo offlaner just because of the presence that the Veii gives him. Because of this, I'd like to see the Dire, instead of doing a safe lane tri-lane, go into the off lane and really pressure the safe lane of the Radiant. Just because I would expect that Lone Druid to go solo off lane. Sometimes he is played solo safe lane just in anticipation of that tri-lane. So, see how they decide to lane it. Of course, on the side of the Dire, we're still missing, I'd say, a secondary carry and a mid-roll. So some good bans coming out of the Queen of Pain fitting both of those roles, so a good generalized ban. And the Radiant pick up a Leshrac, so we're looking for lift into stun, or possibly even have Rubik in the mid lane and Keeper of the Light Leshrac. Of course that tri-lane, or rather if it is a tri-lane, with their final play, the Keeper of the Light isn't that great. He can stack up camps and farm them quite quickly, but in the way of disables, unless he has a solid setup initiation to get off a big Illuminate Blast, he doesn't offer too much. Of course, Leshrac could skill Lightning early and use the Chakra Magic to really abuse and harass the opponent out of the lane, so that can work also. We see Dire picking quite a way into their time. I'd quite like to see them pick up an anti-mage, actually. A high mobility hero. Even if he gets rooted, he can blink away, but he will be stuck in spot for the duration of the root, even if he does blink. But it would be a very good counter to Keeper of the Light, Rubik, and Leshrac. A lot of these three heroes have quite high mana pools. If they expend them during a fight, a Mana Void could really tear apart the team.
Bounty Hunter.
We do see a Bounty Hunter picked up, so he'll be going into that solo off lane. Well, to counter that, obviously people will just take sentries to the lane straight off the bat. And it'll be interesting to see who Radiant pick. The carry, I don't know if Lone Druid will be played as the one position, or if they'll play him as more of a secondary carry, or even just a straight split pusher. Just, you know, prioritize
10 seconds remaining.
More than the 3 intelligence heroes they have there.
5 seconds remaining.
They do. You can play Leshrac mid. It depends
Reserve time.
Players and how they decide to lane it, of course. Quite a lot of options for laning in the way of the Radiant. Of course, after this match has finished, or even not just this match, but a few of the matches, the VODs will be uploaded to youtube.com/SpecDotA. You can see the link on the side of the stream there if you're watching in game. That is the role. And we've seen Outworld Devourer picked up. I would really definitely like to see the Anti-Mage picked up now, because we have 4 intelligence heroes here with extremely high mana pools. It'll constantly be refreshed by OD, so there'll be prime targets for mana burns. As well, they're lacking quite a bit of mobility. The Lone Druid, of course, can lock down some heroes so they can really wail on them, but in the way of escapes,
10 seconds
there
remaining.
really isn't that much on the side of the Radiant. There are no blinks. There are
5
no
seconds
kind
remaining.
of instant move, kind of moves. Pick up a silencer. So we'll probably see the silencer used as their mid laner and pick up more of a carry role than the support we're used to seeing from the Chinese playstyle. Europeans have started picking him up as well. But they do also seem to favour him as more of a 4 or 5 position rather than the 1 or 2. I think Pycats actually played him in more of a farming role. But we'll see how the game pans out, basically. OD will be the mid laner on the side of the Radiant. And maybe with enough Astral Imprisonment spam, Silencer won't have the mana to cast all of the silencers that he has. But it's going to take a lot of careful maneuvering to get that to happen. So, as we go into the game, I will change my overlay, and remember to do so because I screwed that up last time.
Everybody get set.
On the OD, we have Veii, Dear Child of Victory. On the Lone Druid, we have WnHs. On the Rubik, we have 5. On the Shrek, we have Filup. And on the Keeper of the Light, we have Okay Then Mate. On the side of the Dire, the Bounty Hunter will be played by You Stole My Money. The Silencer will be played by DingleDoog. The Lifestealer up on Casual, Pancaeks is playing the Arcane Alina. $35 well spent there. And the Shadow Demon played by Raoden. We do see the tri-lane going up to the safe lane as expected. The next Lina and the Shadow Demon. Silencer in middle and Bounty Hunter off lane. So very standard laning from the Dire here. On the side of the Radiant, we do have a Leshrac.
Let's keep it clean. That's the spirit.
Combo. The Keeper of the Light, no DB. It looks like Keeper of the Light's going to rotate top after. No, he's just going to go top straight off the bat. We do see some Observer and Sentries on the Rubik and some Sentries on the Keeper of the Light.
And
they'll have plenty of vision in this top lane, and the Lone Druid does go into the safe lane in preparation for that safe lane tri-lane. Said before, so he should get some decent farm down here from the in the way of the bounty. Bounty has blocked off 2 camps, not a big problem for Lone Druid. He just has to be careful with his creep equilibrium, making sure to try and keep it outside of his tower, just in kind of this general area. Bounty Hunter won't be able to do too much in the way of farming. He might be able to get a few easy shots off his Sonata. But that Bear's really going to try and harass him off the lane. The Radiant have quite an interesting tri-lane up top. It's, I would assume that the Leshrac is the farmer in this tri-lane.
Nuh-uh.
They really have to be quite careful because they are all quite squishy. Nina, of course, taking quite a bit of harass damage there. We just take a look at the last hits. The Nakes is ahead of the pack at 3-0 already. Tri-lane giving him some good farm. Surprisingly, the Lone Druid only at 1-1 and the Bounty at 1-2, so far he's winning this matchup. Fighting an Invis and coming out for the last hits, but he will run out of mana before too long if he keeps that up. You see, we might see Leshrac put some early points in Edict. He has gone for Split Earth and Lightning, so maybe going for a more harass build. But I would like to see him skill up the Edict to take down that tower. They do have a lot of early game heroes that they could use to pressure that tower. It may not be the best to push into a Shadow Demon and Lina, but I think they're going to play kind of far back like this. It's going to help them have a bit more of a push. Of course, even with these sentries and Observer Wards, they haven't blocked off the pool camp here, so it is open to pulling if the Dire wish to do so.
Guess what's happening in the Dire's bottom tower?
And a sentry ward placed down by the Radiant side, maybe to spot out some smoke rotation from the support there.
Dire's bottom tower.
Nakes does rage up because he's put a bit out of position, and the Light Strike Array, a bit mistimed there from the Lina. I think if she'd got that off, it would have been a kill. Slightly too early. Of course, these teams, not amazingly pro. We're all getting some experience playing these DotA hard matches, and a lot of players aren't used to playing tri-lanes.
Can't do nothing
later
about
on. We'll get
structures right now.
some more Lina combos. Split Earth comes out, but Nakes rages up and just mans up, and we see the open wounds being used for the Light Strike Array set up, and I've got the first blood. I think this is the first game ever, and in fact Lina gets a double kill, and the Leshrac goes down as well. That is a 3-0 kill to the tri-lane of the Dire. Meanwhile, on the back end, in the other lane, the Lone Druid is extremely low on health. It looks like he's pushed the lane too far up, and Bounty Hunter's taken a bit of advantage with the Janata in his harass. Of course, the Bounty Hunter also sitting quite low. The Lone Druid does take down the tower. Excuse me. That's a very early tower, and even before he has the Demolish extra damage up on that bear. So that would probably be the reason why the Lone Druid's so low, trying to get that tower down. Seeing as the bear did go up and only hit it once, I think Bounty Hunter really should have denied that tower. We see Bounty Hunter coming in, but he's not going to spot out the courier, so he's not going to try and snipe it off. Comes out of Invis after the courier ferries him a salve, and so it cancels it off immediately. So a bit of a wasted gold there, and it's a nice play from the bounty hunter. He is, of course, out of regen himself. Sitting at about 600 gold, he might buy up a bottle here and ferry it out to himself. Another option would be to go for a more standard, maybe Ring of Health into a later Vlad's. I really don't like a Vlad's rush up on bounty hunters, but it might be an option for him. And over here, oh, let me take a moment. Someone asking about my computer specs. I do have a quite a beast of a machine. I'm very proud of it. It did cost me quite a bit of money though. I'll tell people in between games if they're interested still. The bounty hunter still getting quite a bit of harassment damage from the lone druid, and now that the tranquils are up, I don't think the bounty hunter can really stay in this lane too much longer. Lone druid showing some good micro skills there, sending his bear forward, but when it's not going to catch, usually returns him. Of course, as I say that, he takes a few hits on the bear. You can see the real defensive position of this tri-lane here now. They're very afraid of being initiated upon, and the Shadow Demon does get a disruption in, but the lean is too far back to really capitalize on that. And you can see that, when we see a haste picked up by the Silencer, it does get pinged out by the Obsidian, the Outworld Destroyer. Curse of the Silent on 2, and a last word placed on the Rubik. They have open wounds and raged up, and this is a perfect light strike array by pancaeks. And that's the death thing. And NYUSTOLEMYMONEY has locked the strike in. Soul Catcher placed on him, and gets taken down, although they do eat an Illuminate on the back end of that. Disruption is put off, and a DP coming back out from the Rubik, but I don't think they're going to be able to catch up to them. And we see the Shadow Demon salving up on the back end. So 6-0 in the way of the Dire now. The Radiant tri-lane really not working out. They do have quite poor heroes. OD activating a double damage rune, and he's just going to cross path with Silencer without catching him out. He may walk directly into this. No mana for a disruption though, so we won't see anything come of it. Unless Lena can get off an amazing light strike array. But with her having only 345 move speed, and the Outworld Devourer having 365, she's not going to be able to catch him. I think that maybe one of these supports should try and rotate to the jungle, maybe even have Keeper of the Light and Rubik go down. And Rubik does lift Lena, so she can't get off that array, but with the open wounds, managing to slow the Leshrac down so that the Lena can come in and take it out. And this tri-lane is really getting abused hard. They need someone to rotate in, maybe even the whole team to rotate in to really put pressure on there. Meanwhile, the Bounty Hunter phase boots up his side to rotate towards mid. Looks like they might look to get aggressive on this Obsidian Outworld Devourer, but with lack of mana on the Silencer, Bounty Hunter's going to come in and get harassed down, but he goes invis right at the right moment and manages to get the kill. OD very angry about that. The ping's coming out. Some excellent play from the Bounty Hunter, going invis as the last hit on himself was about to go down. Ooh, and we go see the next drop down to 7 health while jungling. Really living on the edge. But again, excellent play from that Bounty Hunter, going invis as the projectile was about to hit him. Managing to dodge that and also get the last hit out with a Janata Shadow Strike hit. I think the Radiant really need an Observer Ward in this area here just to support out the rotation of these two Dire supports. They're just using their level and gold advantage now to take out these camps, and as you can see, an Observer Ward is placed down straight away.
Dire's top tower's
coming out from Bounty Hunter on mid lane. It looks like he wants to go again.
Top is missing.
And it looks like OD's going to come right into the bait. He's tracked up, and Janata Strike, the Shuriken comes out, and that is a death to the OD. The Dire in an extremely powerful position at the moment. On the top end, one shot isn't going to be enough to kill him off, and the NYUSTOLEMYMONEY is probably going to kill this Leshrac one more hit, and he does get it. 10-0 to the way of the die, and it looks like he's going to go straight on to the Keeper of the Light. The Rubik is going to lift him up and throw him back into Bounty, but the Infest comes out and pops straight out. And that's the death of the Rubik as well. These squishy heroes are falling to the early damage of the Bounty Hunter. Meanwhile, the Lone Druid pushing out that bottom lane as the Bounty Hunter has rotated so much. He's got a bit of an open lane here. So the tower will go down. There's another tower the way of the Lone Druid. So he's sitting on 900 gold. He's got the boots up on his bear and himself. Does he have anything on the courier? No. So we do see him sitting in the second highest CS. In fact, the Raoden having the 2 highest CSs in the game. But being 11-0, we can see the XP graph 4K in the way of the DotA and the Dire, and the gold being 500 in the way of the Dire. Of course, it's only that close because the Radiant do have 2 towers to their name, while the Dire haven't managed to take one yet. That is a small weakness in the way of the Dire. Their early game is quite good, but they don't have too many tower pushes. Lifestealer can get up the Armlet and Desolator, maybe even an Assault Cuirass, really take it down. And Nex is going for a solo kill here. No, Bounty Hunter will come in, but he doesn't take the last hit. Instead starts going on the Rubik. Rubik will lift, and a mana leak is put down from the Bounty Hunter, so he can't follow. But with Rage up on the Lifestealer in 1 second, he's going to dive this. One more shot, and he is dead.
2 down.
They move on to the Keeper of the Light, and that Janata just takes about 1/3 of the health. Bounty Hunter really needs to A-click one of his friendly creeps. No, he's going to get away. The Infest available for the Nakes as well, so we might see him jump into one of the large creeps, or maybe even one of these melee creeps and just regen his health up. Some excellent play coming out from the die here, and it's 14-0 on the scoreboard. The only thing going the way of the Raoden is those 2 early towers and a decent farm up on the Lone Druid. So if we switch over to the net worth, we see that the Nakes is very far in front. It looks like he's maybe completed his drums. No, he goes for a bit of a semi-build. He's got the Phase, Racer, and Robe ready for the drums, but he's picked up an early Helm of Ironwool just to give him that extra armor and HP regen to stay in lane. He does come in and infest into the wolf to regen his health. Again, a bit of gold and XP in the meantime. Radiant really sticking to their guns and keeping this tri-lane configuration 11 minutes into the game. I think the supports really need to rotate out. You see the disruption coming out, and you can see Nex just needs to walk up and auto attack. A bit of miscommunication coming out there. Does use the demonic purge on the Keeper of the Light, but he's still able to catch up and just take him down. This Lifestealer is 7-0-5, 12 minutes into the game. That's either a kill or assist in every minute of the game so far.
8 in a row.
And another kill goes off the Nakes, and that is a triple kill. Lena scouting out the invisibility rune at the bottom lane. I think she'll just come and pick it up. Look to go on the Lone Druid in middle lane. Looks like good game is called. A very early GG, but what are you going to do when you're 18-0 up? The experience 7.5k in the way of the Dire, and 4.5k gold in the way of the Dire. We see after the GC. Lena chucks out the ultimate on a creep and silence and decides to do a global ultimate. So good game, well played. We'll go into our next game. Switch over to the waiting overlay. Ooh, isn't it so pretty? Links on the left. Links on the left.